Hi, my name is Santiago and my home mountain is Vail, Colorado.
Hello, my name's Ian. I've been snowboarding for about 2 years. My mountain that I usually go to is Butternut, but I also go to Killington frequently.
Hello, my name is Juan. I've been skiing for 4 years and my home mountain is Baqueira, Spain.
My name's Jacob Sullivan. I've been skiing for about 9 years. My home mountain is Mohawk Mountain. Um, so I started working as a ski instructor last year. I'm a PSIA Level 1 certified instructor.
I'm Sean Andrews, and I've been snowboarding for over 20 years now. Let's see, I kind of jumped around a lot of the Catskills and the mountains in New York and a little bit in Vermont, but mostly I worked at Bel Air Mountain for 2 years and Mount Snow full-time for 2 years. I also worked out in Minnesota, Afton Alps, for the development team out there doing freestyle.
Hi, my name's Bernardo. I've been snowboarding for four years now.
Hi, my name is Ben Baird. I've been snowboarding 7 years now. My home mountain is West Mountain in New York, and this is my Edge project.
The trench run was something very new to me, but after, doing it over and over and over, it was a lot of fun.
It was a good experience for me. I never knew how to build a jump or anything. I thought it was amazing. Some days it was really, really cold, but it was worth it. I just thought it was very fun. We set up the one that had the tires with it, which was this one, and I also helped destroy this one and this one and this one. I think the park was amazing. I really liked it because the things like the jumps and everything was very easy to do, but at the same time it made it seem really hard to do. For example, the 180 I did off the jump. It looked really hard because it had a gap in it, but it wasn't really that hard. So that's something I really enjoyed about the park. Something I didn't like about the park. Well, at first, the jump right next to the big jump was a little bit too high up, and that kind of lifted you up a little bit. But then you fix it and everything, and it was perfect. So pretty much nothing. My favorite feature was the jump with the gap in it. This one.
My likes were that the jumps were really fun and there was powder behind the jump, and my dislikes is that I could not do any of that on the other jumps.
We mostly set up a lot of jumps and stuff. We set up a lot of barrels, really some rails too. I really liked the park. I just enjoyed being in the park overall. I just liked that there were a lot of beginner features in the park. Most of the jumps everyone could just do in the park. And there were a couple hard features, the rails could be a little bit hard, but maybe a couple boxes would have been nice. The jump where there's just this gap, huge gap in between. That was just a lot of fun. I just remember one day I was just trying to get pull off a 180 off the jump, and I just kept on crashing at the bump. It was just it was still fun, but yeah.
I donated barrels, tires, some piping, a slide. I helped build the cannon out of the barrels I brought. And yeah, we moved the barrels around to make different features.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really creative. I liked what you did with all the barrels and just kind of different things, the projects you put together. I liked the gap a lot more than I thought I would. I think initially it was a little scary going into it, but as soon as you got the flow of it, you really could fly. And I think the having the chimes there was a good added effect. I liked the cannon with the barrels. That was a lot of fun to play with. And even the beginning of the year where you had the barrels kind of side by side as sort of like as something to slide over. That was really cool. There wasn't a lot of snow, so your window was really tight. So that was, but I think you did really well keeping on top of that and adapting with it. Yeah, I think I really like the fact that you guys are thinking about the snowmaking and stuff like that. So even if you had just like one hose and just nailed one feature, it would be enough to get a path onto it. Because really, I mean, that's all you really need. I don't know. I think it's nice to have just like small kickers for some of the younger kids to work on. And I think you had a couple things like that, and even just using the ridge that naturally goes through there. I think you used that really well. You could put in a chairlift or a rope tow. That'd be great.
First snowstorm, I went out and pushed some snow around because it was only a dusting, and set up the barrels. We all had a lot of fun on that. And then finally we got some more snow. We got about half a foot, and with that I was able to start setting up stuff like jumps, rails, jibs, and I couldn't have done it on my own. I had a lot of my friends came out with me at night with some headlamps and pushed snow wherever I asked them to, help me move the features down there, and then finally I was able to shape everything out. One of the issues with the first setup is I put everything way too close together. But luckily I had a lot of help, and they would help me like every night, so we fixed that problem very quickly. Me and Ambrose worked together on a project to make these jibs. They're more like cone-like things, anything to like knock over, jump on, or spin around on, or anything. I was hoping everybody would get creative on them, and people did. Constructing the tubes, first thing I did was seal the hole with a plastic bag. Then I duct taped the bag on, took a piece of sheet metal, drilled holes in it, cut it to the right size, put it on the top, drilled holes through the tube so that the metal would stay on, then screwed it on, took a hammer and beveled the top so it would stay on.
I first painted them with acrylic paint to what I liked to draw, I guess. And then afterward, I covered it with Nova Gel as a protective layer to keep it safe from the weather and such. This one's my favorite because I really like the planets and how it's all in space. I came up with the idea from the Edge theme. The symbol for Edge is an octopus, so I just thought that it would be good to put an octopus on one of them.
Me and James collaborated together on building a snowmaker. He did a lot of the research, and he found out exactly how the snowmaker makes snow, and I helped him build bases for the snowmaker, construct the actual snowmaker itself, and helped him make snow.
Hi, my name's James Green. I've been assisting Ben with his park project. The reason that I was doing this is not only because I'm in the same class as him and forced to be in that class, it is because I've been a skier for around 8 years, which has been a lot of fun. So when I heard about the opportunity to have a terrain park on campus, I thought that was an awesome idea, and helped him build it. Had a great time contributing to this whole park, and it's been a blast working with him. So now let's talk about what I mainly worked on with Ben. This was probably the longest project to accomplish. Took a lot of time to figure everything out, designs, collaboration between people. We had to fund the money using GoFundMe, sending it out to friends and family, hoping that they would support us. In the end, we were able to buy what's next to me on either side, a pressure washer and an air compressor. And then we built the snow gun to support making snow for the park when there isn't enough natural snowfall. I can explain how this works into greater detail. So, what we're doing here is we're mixing compressed air and compressed water right in front of a massive fan to blow it out up into the atmosphere. So, we need to create a fake cooling process almost and a fake mixing process that would naturally happen up in the sky as the snow would fall. So, what we do is we blast pressurized water through 3 nozzles at around 3,200 psi. Psi is pounds per square inch. And around 60 psi of air gets mixed with that water, which makes it even smaller than it already is to form a base for what the water molecules would naturally stick to up in the atmosphere. Henceforth, we're able to make snow. So over the winter while we were working on the park, there were a couple of nights that Ben and I would go out onto the hill and we'd reshape the jumps and fix everything up, as well as pour some water on it to hopefully freeze it over to make it more malleable for the next day and to hold it together better. In that process, we spent probably around 2 nights creating the quarter pipe, which was a lot of work. Probably piled up around 6 feet of snow. We used some tires as backwall and did a lot of shaping with multiple shovels and using multiple different techniques that he had showed me. That was probably one of the hardest things to accomplish for the project. A lot of time went into it. It looked great in the end. It was a lot of fun.
This is Jonathan Bisson. I'm one of the Edge advisors here at Kildonan.
And I'm Sandy Charlap, and also an Edge advisor.
And I'm Dario Rivera, another Edge advisor.
So, in looking at the finished product that you had by the end of the season, and that included the terrain park and the various schematics that you built, I think the feeling that I have is pride, and it's because of your process. It's not like, it was a one quick effort to get everything together. It's the fact that you were very methodical on how you were doing this. You created designs, and then you would build prototypes of those. And then you'd go back to the designs and adjust those, and then go back to the prototypes. It was very meticulous in how you designed this. It wasn't, you didn't just jump in. You had a lot of forethought going into this. And I think because you were able to think about it in so many different ways, that's why you were able to also build these products like, the videos and these other exhibitions at the end. So I'm proud because I think that you've really gotten a bird's eye view of your work.
Yeah, I think the thing that I saw most in you, Ben, is you had an idea and you created a plan, and you just persevered no matter what. You just kept working, and then you were also very inventive and ingenious about how you pulled everything off, because people would have thought in order to pull this off, you would have needed lots of money. But you did it on a shoestring budget and used materials and things that other people would just, throwaway items. And you created this amazing terrain park that I think at the outset, when we heard that you were going to do this terrain park on the hill, it was like, okay, let's say yes. Let's see if you can do it. And then the fact that you pull it all off. So you pull off the terrain park, but then you have all these things that support the terrain park, like your videos, like these interviews with us, the papers you've written, the interviews, the jobs that you now have because of the work you've done. It's just kind of spectacular, how comprehensive and whole your experience has been in pulling this off. It's been impressive. I wish I could do it.
I think the first word that comes to mind is awe. I'm
I'm in awe of how this all came together. You know, you had as these two wonderful individuals clearly articulate an idea, and you came to put together however you found in the moment. You know, nothing ever seemed to bother you if it seemed to slightly go off this way or slightly go off this way from the original idea. You stayed calm, patient, and clear about what your goal was, and it all came to life and came together so beautifully. There was nothing that was not executed, and that's the thing I keep thinking to myself: a high school student, it's like I'd hire you right now. I don't need the credentials. I need the experience and the project management, which I've seen time and time through from the beginning of the year to now. And as you're pulling it all together and coming to almost a summation of all of it and really getting people's perspectives, it's fascinating to see how we perceive it and how you've come through and all your processes going through from the entire start to now as you continue.
So the other thing that I saw you doing was collaborating, because you had an idea that was yours, but then in order to pull your idea off, you saw people around you that had strengths and you pulled them into your activities, which was wonderful. Like Ambrose painting the jibs and James helping you with, you know, many aspects with the Snowmaker, which came later because Mother Nature wasn't cooperating. So that ability, and like Dario was saying, you always do it with patience. I'm sure as the manager, the kind of overseer, sometimes there were frustrations with, but you worked so well with everybody and made sure that they were part of what you were doing. And then then it became the whole school, because anybody could could be on the terrain park. And now because of the video, everybody experiences it yet again because they can watch it. So the whole community got involved.
Yeah. And I think to piggyback off of that and then what you were saying, Mr. Rivera, how you would employ him now, I have a suggestion. Because the community here knows you and knows the work. And then, you know, Mr. Rivera said probably a lot of people here would hire you. You have to reach a larger audience now. And the way to do that is a portfolio. Because that's going to be the way to give them the same feeling that Mr. Rivera has, and that's going to be the way to share it with communities much larger and further away than Kildonan. Because if they see the work that we've seen, I think the barriers will just fall for you. You've got to have that portfolio. So please do it.
Something I want to throw in there too that I think I hear as a common theme is that I maybe didn't realize until this moment, but you have this wonderful ability to see people's strengths, and you can really pull it out in a gentle manner that doesn't really feel forced and feels welcome, and that people may not have known at that time. So that's a pretty rare gift to do, and be able to say, hey, you're really good at this. Can you be part of this big group that we're doing together? And that's something as you move forward is going to be huge. So I don't know if you were aware, but I definitely have seen it. Like you've been able to pull this talent here and this talent here and make what seemed, if someone else didn't see it, them connect, you found a way to make it all work together. So.
And you impressed the Kodiaks. You know, when you showed the youngest kids at the school what you've been doing, you know, you're like a god to them. Like what you've been doing. And then also prospective students that come in and the way that you are able to show them what you've accomplished. You know, I think that helps other kids realize that there are other ways to learn that work maybe better for dyslexic students than necessarily sitting in classrooms all day. So you've been a real pioneer for a lot of things.
I'd just like to say that, you know, just having like the park crew and being out there was just a lot of fun for me. And like, you know, I would just have to say that Ben is probably the most hardworking individual here at Kildonan and in the Edge program.
It was a great season, and I really appreciate all the help everybody gave me.